Good Sunday morning to everyone. This is Daniel Crawley with the Foothills Weather Network, and this video is to update you on the potential for severe weather today across the region. We have talked about this for the last few days over at our website and on social media about the potential of a severe weather event for Sunday. And as you can see, the regional radar image shows a line of showers and thunderstorms extending all the way from the Ohio Valley down through the Tennessee Valley and into parts of the southeast. Tornado watches are in effect at this time for parts of Georgia and Alabama through the early afternoon hours as this line of showers and severe storms continues to move east. Our concern for later today across the western Carolinas is with further daytime heating, these storms will re-intensify, and with all the wind energy in place, all modes of severe weather are capable today. We could have strong damaging winds, which we think is our highest threat at this time. But large hail and even a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Today is a day, folks, that you need to be weather aware of what's going on. And of course, we will have all the information for our coverage area as it comes in, either on Facebook or through our phone app. We will push those push notifications as soon as they come out. But today is a day that you need to remain weather aware across the region. Going to look at some of these slides here right quick. This is our severe weather planner for today. Of course, we've already seen some rain showers across the region today, thankfully non-severe, but they have been pretty heavy in a couple spots. But for the afternoon, the planner for severe weather, we have a medium threat overall severe weather starting as early as noon. And as we head through the afternoon hours, as you can see at 3 o'clock and then into the evening hours at 7 o'clock, that is really going to be our peak if there's going to be a severe weather event today, anywhere from about 2 o'clock to about 8 o'clock. Then after 8 o'clock, we expect things to start slowing down a little bit. Probably stay at the high level as late as 10 o'clock, but then after 10 o'clock and heading toward the midnight hour, things really should begin to die down as the cold front will have likely moved through by that point. The overall threat, again, for severe weather is enhanced. It's higher than what we normally see here across the western Carolinas. So please be ready and please be weather aware. Now, to kind of break down these threats a little bit more, we had the severe weather timeline, and this may be a little bit confusing to kind of read, so I'll kind of go over this right quick. We have the four main categories of potential weather impacts. We have flash flooding, we have damaging winds, the risk of a tornado today is definitely there, and the chance for large hail. And then if you look from left to right on each of these categories, we have our timeline starting early this morning and working through the afternoon and evening hours and even into the overnight hours. Again, as you can see on this image, kind of centered in the middle, that's really the time frame from early afternoon through the early evening hours. That is when the highest impacts overall are to be expected. Flash flooding, we think there is a medium threat considering the fact that some areas have received a good bit of rain over the past 24 hours. And if we get any training of sails, there could be some flash flooding. Damaging winds, we feel, is the biggest threat today. And these could even be non-thunderstorm winds because we're going to have a lot of wind energy just off the atmosphere. By this afternoon, you could go probably 2 to 4,000 feet above the elevation that you're currently at, and you could easily tap into winds of 60 to 80 knots. So the damaging winds could even be stuff outside of the actual convection that moves through. The tornado threat we feel is non-zero at this time, so we feel like there is a threat. And with some of the parameters that we see, the threat for a tornado could be even just a bit higher than we normally see during a severe weather event. Again, we think the targeted time frame is anywhere from around, say, 1 or 2 p.m. through the rest of the afternoon into the early evening hours. That doesn't mean that you're going to see a tornado today, but we feel like the threat is there, that if there is a spin up, it could occur during that time of the day. Of course, yesterday, if you had been following us through the foothills, we had that tornado warning for parts of Burke and Caldwell and Catawba counties yesterday afternoon. There were signs of rotation and even had some reports of funnel clouds. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And then large hail, as you can see, we also feel is a medium threat anywhere from early afternoon into the evening hours as the storms move through. Now, some general severe weather safety tips for today, and this is some good things that we had come up with. Just some things to think about and to remember during severe weather events. We're not saying that severe weather is going to impact you today. There's a chance that you may not get any severe weather. But in the case of severe weather, here are some things that we feel are important. First off, communicate with family and friends. This is something that you may hear a little bit more during the hurricane season, but I think it also applies to general severe weather. Let family and friends, say outside of the area where you're living, know that, hey, there's a severe weather threat today. Kind of keep an eye on what's going on, and it's not a bad idea to call and see how conditions are where I am. So it's always good to be able to communicate with somebody from the outside, because if there is the threat of severe weather and heaven forbid something were to ever happen, uh, people are aware of what's going on in your area that may not be impacted from the actual severe weather. Our number two tip: have a safety plan in place, whether you're home or away. If a tornado warning is issued for your area, where do you go? You go to the most interior part of your house. You go to an area where you don't have windows. If you have a basement, that's a great place to go. Have a safety plan in place for any severe weather event, not just today. Number three, multiple ways to receive weather information. We appreciate everyone who follows us at Foothills Weather Network on social media. But what if Facebook has an outage? What if your cell phone towers go down? You got to have a separate way to receive that weather information. NOAA weather radios are a great resource to have, and we always talk about having a weather radio in your house. Um, and then, of course, your more traditional methods of media through television and radio. Just have multiple ways to receive your weather information. Don't just rely on one bit of information. And our last thing we want to talk about: do not panic. There is a good chance that a significant amount of folks in our coverage area may not see severe weather today, but be prepared. Do not panic. Do not get caught into any kind of hype that you might see on social media or wherever. Just do not panic. Just keep an eye on what's going on today, and we will get you through this storm. So those are kind of some things that we would like for you to remember and to think about as we go through the afternoon hours. Again, and I will go back to the general graphic. Our planner, the severe weather threat is really going to start picking up after lunchtime, lasting through the afternoon and the early evening hours, and then hopefully sometime after sunset we can start ramping down on the severe weather potential. So that's what's going on across the Western Carolinas. Again, remain weather aware throughout the day. Right now, across a good part of our coverage area, it's cloudy. Don't get the false alarm and think it's not going to happen, because with the wind dynamics and everything that's going on in the atmosphere, the chance of severe weather is there. And as I mentioned earlier, especially with the high winds and the damaging winds aspect, may not even take convection to get some of those high winds to make its way down to the surface. So that's a recap of what's going on. And again, stay with us at the Foothills Weather Network. We will update you through the afternoon and evening hours on a severe weather event. If you haven't downloaded our app, please do so. You can receive the push notifications for all the warnings, lightning alerts, and other information that we get out throughout the day. So this is Daniel Crawley with Foothills Weather Network. We hope you have a good Sunday and keep an eye on the weather over the next 12 hours.